Hi, I'm Sophie and I'm here with Tatti Lashes in their HQ. If you want to see how we created this spooky Halloween look, then keep watching. I'm gonna start off with a little tiny bit of concealer and we're just gonna prime the eyes, ready for some eyeshadow. We are just going to be priming the eyes with a little tiny bit of concealer. And I'm just gonna place it all underneath and just lightly arch out the brow. Now we are going to go in with a big bronzer brush and I'm just going to mix both of these tones together, and then I'm just going to place it direct onto the lid and start to buff it out. And then just to keep that a little bit clean, I'm just going back in with the brush that we blended the concealer out with and just soften it right up. Right, and then I'm just taking this colour on its own and I am just gonna start to define the crease ever so slightly. And going back in with the concealer that we started off with, I am just tapping it on really close to the eyelashes, and then I'm gonna diffuse it with my finger and just really soften it up. Now I'm just gonna be taking the Studio Fix NC20 concealer powder and we are just applying that onto the lid to give a really strong, clean effect. Now I'm going in with this little palette and I am taking the darkest brown from it and we are just gonna sketch out a eyeliner. So we want to start from the underneath of the waterline and then we're gonna just casually bring it right there. Going in with a really clean brush, we're just gonna soften that up. Going back in and then again smoothing it out. Just taking a tiny bit of this shade on the same brush that we've just used to smooth it out. I'm just going to tightline the top of my eyelashes. And what I'm doing, if you can see, I'm not going straight directly. I am actually pulling the product down into my eyelashes just so it's nice and thin and still keeping it smoky. So now I am going to go in with black shadow and we're just going to darken that right the way up. So I am just really lightly tapping that in because we didn't want to go too harsh, because we'll just literally ruin everything that we've just done. Right, some sparkle. So I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty and this is just literally gonna go all over the lid. And I am even gonna take that right up to the brow. And then we are gonna stick some eyelashes on. So I'm gonna first put some mascara on just to prime the eyes. So I'm gonna be using the Abby Roberts lashes. These are available in the TATTI Lashes Halloween sale. So we are gonna start off with the half lashes and then I might add some of the individuals on top. I am using the Mitchell Tatti Lash Glue, which is also in the sale. And I'm just gonna use this to glue the lashes. So I am taking the Tatti Lash tweezers and we are gonna apply these. I like to apply them, even though they're the half lashes, I like to go from center to outer corner to inner corner when sticking them on. So we are just gonna place them, check they are right where we want them to be sat, and then we're just gonna fiddle with them, get them to stick on the ends and then to the center. Again, stick from the center And then I'm just going to push the outer corner in and then the inner corner. I'm just going to squeeze these on just to make sure they are stuck. And then I'm just taking a tiny little bit of a cream eyeliner, and this is black, and I'm just going to shade in underneath my eyelashes. So now that the eyes are nearly done, I'm just gonna do my base and then we'll come straight back. Okay, so we are gonna take a little tiny bit off a red and I'm just gonna smooth that out straight underneath. Just taking these two tones that we used at the beginning of the makeup look, I am just gonna add that straight away in, and we're gonna just place that underneath again. Back with our fluffy brush, and then we're just gonna blend that straight back out again. I am now just taking a tiny little bit of black, and we are just gonna really tight line underneath. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of a black liquid eyeliner and I'm just going to bring that in the inner corner. So I've just took a small amount and I'm just going to warm the product up. So placing it in my hand and then I'm just going to warm it right the way up. Okay, now that it's warmed up, I am literally just gonna pop it right the way on. Just start to soften it out at the edges. Take a bottom of a makeup brush and I'll just pat it out. And I am just dragging it out. It's okay if your foundation comes off because we're gonna be adding blood and all of that, so it is absolutely fine. But you'll slowly start to see the shape forming. So what I am just doing is just making a little gap in between, and then this is where the blood's going to sit. So I am going in with the same red tone that we used before, and this is out of this NARS palette. Tap that right the way in. You'll almost start to see the shape a little bit more now. Okay, so now I'm taking the full bottom row and I am just again going over just as you find it a little tiny bit more. I'm gonna go for the darker shade, so we'll use a little tiny bit of the black, the red and the purple. So I'm just taking the purple shade and I'm just colouring the centre of the crossing. A tiny bit of the red and we are just going to push that right in. I'm just going to use my finger, pat that out. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of the black and I'm just going to put that into the centre. The black again, and I'm just going to add a smaller cross. So if you don't have SFX, you can do it like this way. And then we're going to do it again there. I'm just going to start to blend that out. And then taking our finger, just tapping it in. And then again, same with this side. And then we are going to take our purple shade that we used and we're going to press that right into the centre. And again on this side. And then we are just going to use our finger again and diffuse it right the way out. Then we're just going to take our red powder and just soften that right the way out, all the way down. And then we again are going to just draw that shape behind. And then we are going to go in with a tiny bit of blood and then we are just going to literally tap that all over. I'm just tapping more blood into the centre, and then what I'm doing is just letting the blood go tacky and pulling it right the way out. You're just gonna have so much patience when you're doing this. So just bear with it. And then yeah, just add a little tiny bit. And then what we're going to do is just add a little bit of blood just on to these little mini crosses. I have just put a small amount just on the back of the lid, and I am just going to slowly tap it underneath my eyelashes. Bring it down ever so slightly. I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just going to pat that right the way in. And then just bring it down ever so slightly. And I'm just going to bring that right the way out. We're just going to take the blob and drag it down. So I'm literally just picking it up so it goes tacky, and then we're just dragging that right the way down. Then I'm just going to line the waterline just to make it all tie in. For brows, I'm literally just going to brush brows up and maybe add a tiny little bit in. So I have added a little bit to the brows and finished my skin, so I'm just going to show you how to create the lip to finish this look off. So this is going to look super crazy. And tap that right there out. We are going to take our brush that we used before and we are just going to go straight over the lips. Tiny bit of the black, keeping the lips closed. And then we are going to tap it out. And then I'm just going to bring these corners slightly up. And then I'm just taking a red. This is from Urban Decay, it's called Bad Blood. And just making the center the darkest part. And just tapping that right the way out. And then we are just going to go in with a darker lip. And again, just putting that in. And I'm just going to tap that on just like so. Taking our blood. So that is the lips finished, and I will be back to show you the finished look with all my accessories added on. So this is the finished look. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you want to buy any of the lashes that I've used today, you can get them in the TATTI Lash sale on tattilash.com.